This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 887. I am Brian Kilby. Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast since 1999. With me this week, we have Diecast.
Hello.
Hello. We also have Don, Headmaster Don himself.
Hey, everybody.
Everybody. Rob Clay.
Hello.
And Matt.
Greetings all.
A.K.A. Melvar. Chris is not here. Hopefully everything's okay. Don't want to make it sound like more than it is. His internet probably went down again, but like he was doing show notes for us, like right up to showtime. So Chris may join us in progress. John is not here. He'll be back next week. Okay. I've been wanting to talk about all the stuff that popped up today and this week. Like for the last 45 minutes, pre-show and an extra 15 minutes as we waited for Chris, and I haven't been able to talk about it. So I can finally get this out. I'm skipping the first one, Don. I know you want to talk about the first item, but I got to talk about this Legacy Deluxe Optimus Prime.
It is really nice.
I have so many mixed feelings here, and I don't want to call it a disappointment because it does look really great. But we just got Missing Link Convoy.
And the people who didn't can now get a decent facsimile for a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
Yes, this is really great for everybody who thought Missing Link was a little too pricey for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not them, and I'm a little disappointed.
Well, Brian, now you know how I felt in 2001 when they brought Robots in Disguise over.
You didn't like it? You didn't like that either?
No, it was like I just spent all this money importing this stuff, and then all of a sudden...
Oh, believe me, I did too.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm happy because a lot of people like Missing Link, but $70 for the cab robot. I'll be honest, if I had known this was coming out, I might would have waited on Missing Link. But I think you're kind of looking at like more of a collector's level.
I'm looking at it from my perspective.
Yeah,
100% my perspective. I'm certain this is going to be great in hand. It is not comparable in size or scope to Missing Link Convoy. It's shorter.
This is a deluxe. This is about the size of a Studio Series Jazz by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's a good couple of head links shorter. It looks really nice though. For what it is, it looks really nice, and I can't wait to get it in hand. Like Missing Link Convoy. I don't want to talk about Missing Link Convoy, but it's like my favorite toy all year. Like it and Gears, and I think I like it better in Gears. This, I think, is in proximity is just too close to that toy for my taste. Because otherwise, this would I would be ecstatic. I would be giddy looking at this.
Yeah, the timing might have had something to do with that too, because like we just got Missing Link.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if maybe that's the whole point or the fact that they saw how popular Missing Link was.
This was in the works long before Missing Link.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure
this could not have been started.
No. I'm just saying
Link was even announced.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought maybe they saw, they saw like the pre-orders and stuff like that, and they thought, hey, if we do one in a more budget-friendly line,
probably.
Pre-orders for Missing Link started last fall, and turnaround on a toy design is about 2 years, to my recollection.
Yeah, so either Takara knew this was coming, which they did. Takara absolutely knew this was coming. You got to assume that Hasbro knew that Missing Link Convoy is also coming. So it's like, hey, this is a choice for everybody else who is not going to get Missing Link Convoy. But like for me, and like most of the people listening to this show, it is a little weird.
It's budget Missing Link Convoy, but I mean it does have, all the articulation you would want. He has an ab crunch.
Looks great.
He has the shoulders, the knees, the ankles, everything. Light piped yellow eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He comes with two versions of the blaster, a cartoon and anime accurate version. The thing that gets me though is that chest. That's just an all clear plastic piece painted over, and he does come with a matrix. So
it's a plain matrix.
yes,
but again, I just want to get across. I think this looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I think it looks amazing. It's just so weird to me. It's if it was a little more different than Missing Link Convoy, I might dig it more.
It's too slavish to the G1 toy.
Like, which is exactly what it was
that's
designed to be.
That's what it is.
The entire point for it existing.
And it looks, I understand why they did it. It's one of those figures where I can say it's not really for me.
Oh, it's for me. It's for me.
I like Earthrise, Optimus Prime so much better. I'd rather have Earthrise Optimus Prime on my shelf than
that is something I wanted to mention, is that because it is smaller than G1 Optimus Prime, I have a feeling it's going to pair really well with the Earthrise trailer.
It could.
I do believe there was something in the Instagram that said it's compatible with a range of trailers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But this also weirdly has detachable smokestacks, and the Instagram photos show that you can use them as weapons because they're blast effect compatible.
That's cool. So Blade in the chat said, Brian, would you buy it in Pepsi Prime colors? I'm buying it in these colors. I would buy it in Pepsi Prime colors. I'm going to buy it in all colors. Like, I do love it. I'm disappointed though, because timing wise, my zeal for this has been blunted by the perfection that is Missing Link Convoy. Maybe that's a better way of putting it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even think I need to own it. Like, I feel like,
damn you, Takara Tomy.
Yeah, I'm buying it.
I feel like I already own this because I've got Missing Link, and it's a better version.
I will tell you that this, I am probably going to be a lot more comfortable just picking up off of the shelf and messing with at any given time.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna, I leave Missing Link Prime in the box because it's just such a nice box.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, this is going to be a great fiddle toy.
Yes, this is the one that I would take to work and put on my desk.
Yeah, and unless something changes with the final version, because Mark did say the colors would be like extra G1 accurate on the final version, you can pick this up and handle it without getting thumbprints all over the chrome.
Yeah. It looks nice. And
it does.
Yeah. I'm going to get it.
I would love to see if I'm right about just the general size compatibility with the Earthrise trailer. I would love to see this reissued as a G2 Prime. I would adore that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely getting this. It looks really nice. I do want to have it, even with Missing Link Prime, existing.
Yeah, and we're not saying we don't like it. It's just the novelty of what it represents. Like you said, Brian, it's been mostly satisfied with Missing Link Convoy. So this is great, but we just kind of got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, if you're only going to get one of these and you want something to display, get Missing Link Convoy. If you're only going to get one of these and you want something to play with, get this.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's weird in the Legacy line, I think. If this were like Authentics, I think I would be ecstatic about this, and I don't know how to explain.
In Legacy, they G1ify something,
right?
Like, you can't G1ify this because that's what it is.
Yeah,
so
I agree that it's a little weird to be in Legacy, but the fact that this is an anniversary year, I think, gives it a little leeway.
So what I expect though, this will shelf form. This will be a Elf on a Shelf former toy. I almost guarantee it.
This is probably one of their A-level assortment toys, and people are going to order way too many.
Yeah.
Do we know when this is going to be available to order or pre-order?
Tomorrow.
So probably in your hands by fall, I would assume.
Okay, pre-order tomorrow on Pulse, I guess.
Yeah, June 13th, tomorrow as of recording now. Pre-orders first. The stuff they're showing this week goes up at 1:00.
JT Prime just says it's packed 3 per case. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So Jared said, guess you can say Deluxe G1 Optimus Prime is a consolation prime. I love that. That's very good.
Yeah.
I almost thought this was going to be a solid case figure. Like, weren't they saying the Bumblebee is going to be a solid case figure?
Possibly.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. What Don wanted to talk about, we got our 3-pack of GoBots. So Treads, Pathfinder, and Small Foot. So is this the first time we're seeing Pathfinder?
This is the first time we're seeing Pathfinder. Yes.
Yeah.
And I want you to look at the flag.
The Guardian's flag. Yes.
Oh yeah.
It has the Guardian grid layout on the flag.
Oh, cute.
I love this. I want this set. I love this set. I want it right now in my hands on my shelf.
So does this go up for pre-order tomorrow as well?
As far as I know, yeah.
Do we have a price?
No.
Okay. I'm going to buy it.
Not that I've seen anywhere.
I'm going to buy it.
Yes, I
I
mean,
think we all are.
yeah, I mean,
$59.99.
yeah,
Calling it now.
yeah. The Treads is the Warpath.
Is that a guess, or did you see that somewhere?
No, it's a guess, but
Oh,
Yeah, it's to be honest though, the Small Foot really on that Gears mold. It's not Small Foot from the cartoon by any.
It's gorgeous though.
But it is still so her. And then Pathfinder's Cosmos, there's that. Treads which is weird. Treads is one of my favorite late GoBots, but just all that green on Warpath, like I said last week, week before, it reminds me more of Gut Cruncher that used the the old Legends class Warpath in that Target Minicon set. But yeah, I will still buy this with a smile on my face.
The set that this is homaging was just Warpath in that color green.
Yeah, exactly.
And they called that Treads because he was in disguise as a Decepticon.
Yeah. It just he just needs to be Treads a little yellow, but that's just me being nitpicky and pedantic.
Pedantic.
Thank you.
And me being picky, I'm still hearing your phone, Don. So you might want to move it far away or put it in airplane mode.
Sorry, I'm using it for Discord. Sorry.
You just don't then. I'll inform you if anything cool is happening in the Discord. Okay. Are we all buying it? Yay or nay?
Probably.
Yay.
I'm getting it for that Cosmos. It looks so good in that color.
Also, I just want to point out it's really nice that, to keep the price down, they did not put another Bug Bite in the set, so that everybody who got Select's Bug Bite is just good to go, and everybody else, and it's not going to be like $100 set. So.
There are more than enough characters to do another one of these sets, and not all of them got toys originally.
Yep.
So I just want to say, Don, I'm keeping you up to date on the Discord. Python Patroller said, pedantic. Where is a Dontionary? That is my new favorite word.
Yeah, I knew what I was trying to say, but I'm
no, Don. It's perfect. It's perfect. I love it. If Jared hadn't come up with the episode title, that would be the episode title. It's wonderful. Okay, Quake. Yeah,
I like it. Looks
it's fine.
good.
It's fine.
I like the robot mode. The tank mode is certainly a folded up robot.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me that this is what. I mean, the second Quake in how many years? 10.
The last one was in Titan's Return. That was longer ago than you think.
Yeah. I just never felt that Quake is a character that I need multiple versions of.
That one was a headmaster for some odd reason and did not come with his target master partner.
So this is double target master like it should be.
Yeah, this will again, it's a trio. Quake, Spinister, and
Needle Nose.
So again, it's the trio being completed, which I am completely down for. But yeah, folded up tank is the first thing I saw when I saw this picture that's on the Instagram. it's almost like a jump starter to me. Like the turret would fly off and it would just jump start into robot mode. That's just kind of the
G1 toy is a folded up tank.
yeah, but I mean, but it was a lot it was
Sorry,
it was less,
Don.
sorry. The G1 Quake, the legs swung down from the sides, and it was a lot more solid looking in tank mode. This is kind of gappy.
It does. The original Quake does look more cohesive as a tank. I will definitely give it that.
It has a complete turret.
Yeah, has a complete turret. Looks like a tank, not a bunch of robot shapes wadded into a tank in vehicle mode. I think is the most important thing there. That said, I really like the Skullgrin mold. So, and I like double target masters. So I am perfectly happy with this.
I like double target masters. I think the robot mode looks fine. So, I mean, he's not going to be in tank mode on my shelf, so it's not that big of an issue.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, that tank mode reminds me of an Inner Pretender robot.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yes.
I mean,
sorry, Rob, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, I apologize if I talked over you, Matt, and I apologize for constantly talking over you, Don.
The double target masters, the G1 toys were not far off from Inner Pretender robots. So
their alt modes, I think, were a little bit less abstract in general.
Yeah.
You could tell what they were supposed to be. They were not just like, future space rectangles.
But they were not super complicated toys either.
No, they were simple toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I'll buy it. It's nice. I'm just not in love with it. And Legacy Slipstream as well.
Not bad.
To all the Slipstream fans, I'm sorry. It just hasn't every one of her toys been a Windblade repaint, remold?
Yeah, yes, both of them.
Yeah.
She looks good though. I like the colors. I like the head sculpt. I think this is I look forward to picking this up. We don't get many female characters, so I thought Don would be all over this.
You would think.
I don't understand. It's a good mold too.
Yeah, for once they have a Windblade that they do take care to get rid of some of that backpack, that you don't have just a giant jet nose hanging off the back. So there is some compression of the backpack. And in those colors, it looks great. I just don't have the connection to her like a lot of people do through the various medias, IDW and whatever the case may be.
So, pretend that she's a female G2 Ramjet.
Oh, that's fine with me. I mean, I also get this just because in those cool colors, that mold really looks good. But for Slipstream fans, I know they want to get a mold where she's not just a partial from somebody else.
So
I wouldn't even say as not a partial of someone else, because as the female seeker, I want her to be a seeker. I don't want her to be a Windblade repaint. I want her to be a partial off of a Starscream.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Matt's right. But also, this looks to me so much better than Windblade.
So the colors, they're magnificent.
They are magnificent.
They are.
This mold is good, though. It is the best, I think, on a technical level. It is the best Windblade mold we've gotten so far. Mark does say in his Instagram story, if I saw correctly, that he knows that people do want a Voyager Slipstream that fits in better with their Starscream figures, and he has let the design team know about that. So this may not be the final word on the character either.
Excellent. Also, Mark, don't forget about Sunstorm. We need one of those too.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. We have our next Lego Transformer designed by Joe Kide. It is Bumblebee.
Love it.
Looks pretty good. I have yet to even open my Optimus Prime, so I don't know how enthused I am about this. I'll buy it. But I like the way it looks. The transformation looks nice. The robot mode looks good. Great for Lego. The car mode looks great for Lego. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be great.
Yeah. As a transforming thing that's built out of Lego blocks, you were never going to nail 100% a cartoon accurate Bumblebee that transforms into a accurate Volkswagen Bug. You know, there was always going to be compromise in between. I think this looked fine, and I look forward to getting one.
Yeah.
Well, this is not a Volkswagen Bug because they're not paying. They don't have Volkswagen logos on it. So I understand this is kind of like the legacy Bumblebee that we just saw, that I was complaining about not being rounded on the top, but I think they did that to kind of get away from having to pay or get the licensing from Volkswagen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it as much on the Lego as I did the toy. But yeah, it's not meant to be a Volkswagen Bug, even though it's close. It kind of resembles it.
It's a compact car that closely resembles in the front end anyway, a Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah. It kind of ends up looking more like a generic 1930s roadster. I mean, it kind of looks like it could be a background car in Batman the Animated Series, for that matter. But
yeah, it almost looks like a hot rod car. Yeah,
yeah. So, I'm okay with Bumblebees not being, VW bugs if they have their own thing going on, and this one I'd say definitely does. I like the style of it.
As long as they're not sports cars.
Yeah.
I agree. I really like it. Speaking of Lego, I hope it's okay, Brian, that I throw this in. I finally did the upgrade to the Optimus Prime head. It looks so much better.
Somebody made a new head.
They made a new head. It only takes an extra couple pieces. I had to source the pieces from somewhere to get them to be able to make the head, and I actually sourced enough where I threw up a couple of them on eBay.
Oh, cool!
That way, if people want the head,
what's your eBay handle?
Diecast 17 on eBay.
Why not Diecast 2?
I used to be, but I think something happened and I had to change my username. But it's been that since like 2000, so I've had that account for a long time.
So I'm assuming I found somebody here that I thought was you, but they only have 80% positive feedback. I'm assuming that's not you.
Yeah, that's not me.
Okay. Well, I will keep searching. Okay. What else do we have? Oh, Metalhawk. There's a package refresh with a modified deco. Based on the photos, it looks brighter.
I actually haven't seen the photos yet.
It looks.
Is it just me, or is the vehicle mode different?
I haven't.
I was looking at the vehicle. It's been so long since I've transformed that toy or purchased that toy that I was looking at it because I was like, I didn't even know if it was. I guess it's got to be the same vehicle mode.
It is.
Yeah.
So you can't trust photos, but assuming that these are color corrected and everything, it looks much more primary color and brighter than the original release. The body seems to be. I can't tell if it's painted. I don't think they would put that much paint on it, but the gold is less muted than, at least according to by looking at the photo, than the prior release.
The grays are a lot darker on this one. It looks like, because I remember someone saying that this modified deco was supposed to skew closer to the original toy.
Needs more gold plastic then.
Please no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark just straight out says in the Instagram story, gold is just a real problem, and there's only a few golds that you can really work with. So
yeah,
but yeah, if you didn't get the original release of Metalhawk, it's a good figure.
Yeah,
it really is.
So the fact that it's a deco change at all means I'm going to buy it, but it looks so much nicer that I'm not going to feel bad about it.
Yeah, I don't think any changes were made to the alt mode, though. That looks pretty much what I remember it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, in-hand photos of Comic Edition Straxus. It's exactly what I thought it was going to look like.
I think it looks good.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
It has a flat, I guess, deco. They're not doing any sort of crazy stuff like they're doing with Grimlock or Shockwave, are they?
Yeah, they are.
They are. What are they doing?
Okay, so there's some shading down his left leg. That black patch.
Oh, I'm on that photo now. Ooh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and you can see the like screen printed the tampograph dots on his upper torso to make it look like old fashioned comic color printing.
Yeah, I can't. So in the photos I'm looking at, they're too small for me to make that out. For whatever reason, I have a weird zoom on in with my browser.
Okay, yeah. When you get them at a decent size, it's pretty apparent. So, hopefully somewhere down the line there will be a clean release of this as well.
So.
Just because I don't mind it, but I know there's a bunch of people who will. Because there's just going to be a lot of
those
stuff.
people.
Yeah, I don't blame you. There's just a lot of things it's going to look weird next to, because it's going to be like one of maybe 2 or 3 things you may or may not own with that kind of shading. But overall, I really like this. Like I said, it deserves a clean release too for the people who want that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to the shading like as a set.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get all 4 of these, they would look good together as a set with all of them in that deco. But I would really like to have one that goes with everything else I have on my shelf too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have possible first look at Transformers 1 Bumblebee Kids Meal toy from Burger King Kids Meal. It sure does look like a kids meal toy.
Yep.
Actually, well, the front actually looks a little bit better than the average kids meal robot, but the back is it's molded. It's very hollow.
It makes me sad because our kids' meals toys were so much better than what kids get now.
I mean, so I think back to some of them.
Back in my day.
Like some of them. The McDonald's Happy Meal Muppet Babies toys. They were solid pieces of plastic with a little vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually pretty decent. But then I think back to other things. Not always that great.
It's definitely a case-by-case thing. Like the first thing that came to mind for me were the Super Mario Brothers 3 toys, which were just like solid chunks of PVC with like spring-loaded features and things in them.
Yep. Those were nice.
They were.
But none of them featured like a lot of articulation or anything.
Oh yeah, no. They were again just solid chunks of PVC, and at the time I didn't really object to that because I was maybe not as picky as a child for one, and for another, just for a very long time, toys of Nintendo characters were not very common. But I do feel like, man, sometimes I just hate that everything is hollow. To be honest, just I do kind of miss nice weighty chunks of plastic in terms of just toys in general. But that's me.
Looks like Evan just posted something. Thanks, Josh, in the Discord. On his Instagram, it is. I only see one.
Yeah, I know it says 2, but I only see one photo.
Geocron. Yeah, you gotta scroll. There's a ghosted out left and right arrow.
Oh, okay.
Is that the Boulder Crash repaint?
Yeah.
Oh, and
I believe so. Boulder Crash was a motorcycle.
And
yes.
And core class Galvatron.
Energon Galvatron. It looks weird. What's with the yellow?
That is except for the part where it would be clear plastic, that is accurate to the original toy.
It was orange, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is a little bit more yellow. It's kind of hard to judge that plastic because it was clear, but it probably should have been a little bit more orange.
The photo is very yellow. Looks like a banana or a lemon.
Looks like the same like yellow they use on Bumblebees for the most part.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I really love that toy, and I just wish they would have, not done it as a core class.
Sorry, diecast.
No, I was going to say, I'm just thinking it could have been a really nice leader or Voyager or something.
Yeah, I think honestly, I like it as well, but I think it was a good choice for core because you get into other sizes, and it's very similar to the Galvatron that's already out, and I'm sure that could become a problem. So, okay. Also, the Instagram story mentions that they used the anime colors as a source. And looking at all these screenshots I can find of Galvatron from Transformers Energon, yeah, those cannons were much more yellow in the animation than they were on the toy.
Yeah, in the toy, I'm looking at a gallery from Cybertron, and it's more yellow than I remember. Mine's buried somewhere.
The cannons themselves look orange, but the rest of it is a lot more yellowish than I remembered off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I think it's just nice that, Evan managed to get these up while we're recording. So
yeah, thank you, Evan.
We don't have to wait till next week to talk about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, also, just for the record, I looked up the other toy of this, the smaller one, Galvatron General from Transformers Superlink, and its plastic is yet more yellow than Energon Galvatron's. So, yeah, definitely hewing fairly close to the Japanese model for this version of the character.
And that Geocron, that face is something of you would have in a nightmare.
Yeah. So, Jada has a 132nd Porsche 935 Turbo, decoed out as G1 Jazz.
Nice.
I'm into this. I'll pick it up.
I don't like these things, but I like this. It looks nice. It just makes me, I don't want to say angry, but it just makes me want a real masterpiece, or even like a Missing Link Jazz. It's nice though. It looks really good, and they're doing a Straxus as well. I didn't know I was only familiar with the Optimus Prime. Or is there a Bumblebee? Diecast, don't you collect these?
I have some of them. There was a movie Bumblebee. I don't remember if there was a G1 Bumblebee or not.
On the back of the box, there's a picture of Straxus, and I sure don't remember Straxus.
I don't either.
No, me either.
Okay. Well, it looks really nice. I just want it to transform. Okay.
It looks like they're doing a 124 scale too. So
cool.
It's two scales. The 132nd and the 124. So I would actually pick up the 124th.
Cool.
Quick question, because I'm old and don't remember. Volkswagen and Porsche are both owned by the same company, right?
Yes.
I think so.
So if Hasbro has the license for Bumblebee, it's possible, not Hasbro, it's Takara anyway. So if Takara has paid money for the VW side, I would think that if the whole don't want to have war kind of thing is not an issue anymore, I think we could probably see a Masterpiece Jazz announced by the end of the year, because I mean, he's one of the main characters they still have not done.
Well, they've done Porsche for a while. I mean Volkswagen for a while. I think the reason we don't have a Jazz is they don't think it'll cost out. There's a certain level of expectation that Bumblebee will sell a certain level. I don't know that they have the same level of expectation that Jazz will sell, even though we would.
Yeah, but the thing is, they did G2 Sideswipe. Again, that's because they had an existing mold and it was a built-in repaint. But I think, if you're looking at doing a G2 Sideswipe, as awesome as he is, especially with the Dana Kenninger face and everything else, I think Jazz, as popular as he is, would be a pretty safe bet.
That was also years ago.
Yeah.
Not 2024.
And I suspect the Lamborghini license is probably a little bit cheaper.
Maybe. I mean, I would say.
I think they're all owned like Volkswagen, Porsche. I think Volkswagen owns Porsche and Lamborghini.
Oh.
Don't quote me on that.
Oh, okay.
But I would say if it costed out, we would already have it.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's keeping that from happening.
I mean, because you could do the gold Jazz. That was a reference to a special prize or something. You got G2 Jazz. You got regular Jazz. There's one other Jazz.
Cereal Jazz.
Cookie Crisp Jazz had almost no deco change, right?
I couldn't tell the difference between the two if I was looking at them. Yeah. Okay, let's jump to what we got this week. And of course, again, we talk about Transformers for the public feed, but patrons will get the ham sandwiches as well. Don, I saw you fiddling with some stuff during the show. What did you get this week? Transformers wise?
Nothing on topic.
What?
Everything I've already got, don't want, or ain't here yet.
Okay, so that's a tease. Don certainly has something off topic, ham sandwiches. So patrons, you get that. Diecast, what about you?
Yeah, I picked up a couple things from the Hasbro Pulse sale. I got the G.I. Joe crossover Soundwave because that's the first time I've seen it go on sale. It was 35% off, so it worked out to be like $65. I got Antagony because I was kind of mad I didn't get that in the beginning. It seemed to be that she sold out relatively quick.
I mean, that BotCon was a long time ago.
Yeah. No, the Legacy one.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. No, I didn't. I'm just being stupid.
But that sold out pretty quick. And it came back up and I had to grab it. It's I know it's all black, but it's a pretty figure with that purple head and everything.
Yeah, the original was very striking, but again, that's also with the packaging they did at the time for her as well with the fifth window.
Yeah. So just two figures that I've been waiting to get a better price on that I was able to pick up. That's all I got this week.
Well, you can probably sell the Joes that come with it if you don't want the 3 3/4 inch, because that's what I did for mine. I got $50 for the Joes when I got my Soundwave.
Oh no, I'll keep the Joes. I always do.
Yeah. It's Dononomics, not Diecastonomics.
Why would you buy a Thunder Machine and then sell the Dread?
Yes, that doesn't even make sense.
Because I got $50 for them, and I can go to the Dollar Tree and get 2 generic G.I. Joes to stick in there, and I'm good.
Yeah. Final Faction is not G.I. Joe.
No.
Matt, what'd you get?
I got but one Transformer this week, and it is a second Transformer Selects G2 Ramjet. I got another one because the first one is with my Seekers display, and this one is going with my Tigatron collection display. So I love my wacky colors, so had to get another one.
Okay.
Don't blame.
Okay, cool. Anything else? That was it?
That's all that's on topic.
Rob?
Nothing on topic.
Okay, I got a few things. I mentioned this last week. I'd opened it and fiddled around with it. Legacy Tigerhawk. Yeah. So, I've said many times that typically these toys are a downgrade from the original. There are many reasons why, economics and everything. And he is too, but I do appreciate that his deco is radically different, and he looks a lot different than the original toy. The original toy is like S tier masterpiece level almost. It's so good. This one is not, but it looks good and it'll look nice on my shelf. Hopefully it doesn't yellow. It's very white. Next I got, this was my Sir Gaia order from, I guess, last week when it was on sale. And I got it, and it was better than I expected because the photo of this was not in the box. And I found once they sent it to me that it's boxed. They just didn't put the box in the photo. So I got this for free shipping. It is Super Wars, the Spy Changer.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
It's from the Super Spy Changer lottery blind boxed line that Takara did in 2003. It came with the blind box.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's this and a clear version of it. I love Spy Changers. I by no means have them all. Technically, they're in scope for my collection. So I'm gladly paid $20 or whatever it was shipped for this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just not. I didn't get it because to me, I'm not that big on the Spy Changers.
I love them.
If you've got a set of 6, you've got them all except for the oddball ones.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at this. I've seen this go for like 2 or 3 times that on eBay, so it was worth that. And from Mandarake, I saw this and immediately jumped on it. Didn't jump on it because it would break, and you'll see why. It's G2 Electro. It's in the Japanese box.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm making myself not go to Mandarake because it's like I don't need the temptation.
Shipped for $40.
Oh, I needed the
Whoa.
temptation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, the Takara version comes in a nice little box that you can close. And I played with it for a second, and I'll never touch it again because it will turn into dust.
What vehicle mode does it have?
He's a laser rod, so he turns into like a hot rod truck.
Like a
awesome.
lowrider, kind of like a lowrider truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is
Awesome.
also made primarily of gold
Plastic.
Yeah, he's probably only slightly less fragile than Randy.
Maybe. I mean, he's older than Randy.
just slightly.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, Randy though had didn't in Japan the Beast Wars have the automatic gimmick with all the springs and stuff that add a lot more stress to the
basics did just the same as they did here. So
yeah, so I'm
first
thinking
wave.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just very, very pleased to get that for $40. Very happy.
Yes, it makes a lovely display piece.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah. The trick with it may not be spring loaded, but the laser rods, as I recall, actually have O-ring construction, so there probably is tension on those parts.
Really? There's O-rings in there?
I know the one laser rod I have, I think it's Jolt, definitely feels like the waist is held together by a rubber band the same way that G.I. Joes of the period felt to me. So
the only laser rod,
may be wrong.
The only laser rod I've really spent any time fiddling with is Laser Prime, and he does not have an O-ring, but he's also like substantially larger.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the individual laser rods are actually O-ring transformers. I could be wrong on that. I only have the one. I haven't handled it in a while, but that is what my memory tells me, for better or worse.
Cool. Okay, that's it for on topic. We'll go to off topic. Don, you had a ton. Let's see what you have.
Oh, not a ton.
It looked like a ton.
Well, it's a half ton. Got a few random items here, some from the Pulse sale, some not. I got this mostly to complete the set. I got the second set of the Dungeons and Dragons mini mates off the Pulse sale, mainly because it was much cheaper than anywhere else. So this is the villain set with Venger and them, so it completes completes at least those 2 sets.
Who makes mini mates? Because I was surprised. I saw that on their website and I was like, really?
I believe they're a Diamond Select thing, aren't they?
They're Diamond Select, yeah.
I was just surprised that was on Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah. On the Hasbro Pulse Soul, I got Justice.
Nice.
Sold the Build-A-Figure part, so he wound up being about $10.
Dononomics.
Yep. Picked up the Iron Man Mark 1. Yeah, the Mark 1, the gold version. I found another one of those Super 7 Yip Yip Martians, and I sold it for $35. I made 15, so I got like $10 invested in him. So I figured that's a pretty cool looking Iron Man for $10. So
was that on the sale too?
No. I got that out in the wild. It was
okay.
no. Got today from Amazon, tfradio.net/Amazon. I got Hero from Masterverse for like $14 shipped.
Cool.
So I got him for the Masterverse collection. Bought this because I had some other good eBay sales. I don't buy much Star Wars, really don't. But I wanted at least one of the destroyer droids, so I got him. So I got him
Nice.
for what, like, after some Dynamics with what I sold, about 25. So, but there are no blast effects in there as far as I can tell, which is very disappointing because this figure is like $34.99 retail. And there are no blast effects for the cannons. This is what Black Series confuses me, because yes, it's a very expensive license, but you have something that's a robot that shoots at people, and there are no blast effects included with this, which I find is something of an oversight.
You'll also need to buy a small fishbolt separately to be the shield. So
yeah, that's I mean, if they're going to do that, just put like 2 halves, that you can clip around it, and at least for display purposes.
Okay, more important question here before you move on, though, Don.
Okay.
Does it turn into a wheel?
According to what I've seen online, the legs do fold up, but it doesn't become like a complete rollable ball. It's just everything kind of compresses and shrinks down, but it does not turn into like roller derby droids.
At least the wait continues.
Yeah, the wait continues.
I've been waiting like 25 years for them to do one that actually does what it does in the movies.
Yeah. I saw one of these in the wild. I got me a second Techno Viper because I figured whenever I get my G.I. Joe display set up and I've got Dr. Mindbender, he needs kind of at least 2 Techno Vipers there to kind of be flunkies or something. That's the first one I've seen. Today, I found apparently what I thought was a new app, but Brian says it's an older app called Whatnot. This was supposed to be Alley Viper.
Tell us what it is, Don.
Alley Viper.
Oh, okay.
This is Destro. This is the classified Destro 03. So yeah, that was supposed to be, because I followed a gentleman on Twitter, everybody, Pixel Dan, and I got some credit from Whatnot, and that's what I used it on, was to get another Alley Viper, and because Alley Vipers are still kind of expensive, not as bad as the Crimson Alley Viper, but still. And then I got Destro instead of the Alley Viper, so I'm waiting to hear back from the seller on that. And with the Hasbro Pulse sale, I did get a second regular Trouble Bubble. I'm just going to look at Etsy and some other places for stands so I can have them in flight. And that's all I got this week.
Diecast?
Yeah, the reason I laughed at Don is because I also got a destroyer droid. I picked it up at GameStop because they had a little bit cheaper of a price for Pro, and I had a $5 coupon, so I Donanomicsed it. And same thing, I was hoping that it would kind of turn into a ball, because I thought this one was supposed to get close to that, which Don says it does. The other thing I picked up on Don's recommendation was the 3-pack of G.I. Joe classified figures that were in the
Crimson Guard set.
Yeah, the Crimson Guard set that was in the clearance section.
How much?
It's
outlet.
47 down from 89.
Give it to me for 15. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, even though they're all repaints, the Baroness and those paint jobs, Baroness, Zaymon, and Tomax, really are very striking in those paint jobs, and it's a hell of a packaging job on that too. Great looking.
Package is nice. The decos don't do anything for me.
Well, I'm going to put them with my His Tank and my Fire Team. They're going to be like kind of in with that, so I think it'll work pretty well in theme with the His Tank and stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Someone put a picture in the Discord with the destroyer droid kind of in a circle.
tfradio.net/Discord.
Yep.
Anything else, Diecast?
I think that is it.
Rob, did you get anything?
I got a few things. First off, thank you to Matt, who sent me off of my Amazon wish list, tfradio.net/playlist. I almost said Chris list. That's not mine. Got me Jedi Survivor for the PlayStation 5, which I really liked the first one. Fallen Order was a really good game. Actually, like perfect because I've been just messing around with the various Dark Souls games lately, and Jedi is similar to those in terms of how it plays. So, looking forward to playing that. That's actually the first thing I've gotten for my birthday this year. So, yeah, thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
For myself, I haven't gotten a lot. Crunchyroll had a sale on Blu-rays. They're clearancing out some older things, including some Gundam productions. So I got Mobile Suit Gundam Reconquista in G, which is the latest series by the creator of Gundam. It's probably about 7-8 years old now. It was like for a 26 episode series, it was $26 on Blu-ray. That seems fair. And I also got with it the next 3 volumes of the Delicious and Dungeon manga, which is still a lot of fun. That artist is just really great drawing facial expressions, and the whole series basically hangs off of that when you get down to it. So, but I'm pretty sure that is all I have gotten this week.
Cool. Matt?
Yeah, so I picked up the Marvel Legends figure of version 2 of Magneto from X-Men 97. That's the Trial of Magneto outfit, the purple with the long gloves. It is an absolutely hideous outfit, but I love it.
Is that the one with the big M? Was that the one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his 80s headmaster of the New Mutant superhero costume. Absolutely love it. And building up my Omnibus collection, I got New Mutants Volume 2 of the original New Mutants series. And that's it for me.
Cool. I got a couple things. I don't normally go into this, but I think this one's pretty cool. So on Twitter last week, I'd shared that I had no idea that the G.I. Joe Dino Hunt set existed. And somebody had responded that the dinosaur that came with the set is literally just like a knockoff somehow of an Imperial dinosaur that came out sometime before. And the colors are basically the same, but the mold is much more simple. In like some of the parts are like molded together in the G.I. Joe set. So I'm like, I'm not going to spend $1,500 for the G.I. Joe set, but I'll spend $6 for the Imperial dinosaur. So, so I got that. It's nice. And a couple other things. I got a digest edition of. Like this is from Etsy. It's unauthorized. It's like 6 Marvel comics and 2 Archie comics from like gum wrappers. Like, and if anybody knows me, I really love like Bazooka Joe and those comic strips. And there was apparently a candy like in the 60s and 70s that had like licensed comics in them. And speaking of licensed comics, these were actually ads. Also from Etsy. It's a digest edition of a ton. I don't know how many pages. There's a bunch of pages of the Marvel Hostess ads. And this is my jam. One, I love digests. They're like that's my favorite format for a comic. And the digest and the Hostess ads are so great. I don't know. This was gifted to me. I don't know who the seller is, but if I did, I would give them a plug because it's very nice. Like, it is very nice. Definitely worth picking up.
And behold the power of Hostess fruit pies.
Yes, exactly. Well, I want you to behold the power of our Patreon at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons of Radio Free Cybertron get an ad-free version of Radio Free Cybertron each week. You get the podcast a day early, at a higher bit rate. There's a weekly Patreon-exclusive pre-show podcast. If I make any major edits to the show, like Don drops like a heavy swear or something, or says something like it's too hot for podcasts, the unedited version will be on the Patreon. You get There Goes My Money a week early. Patrons at the Touch tier actually get to be on There Goes My Money, which is recorded twice monthly. Touch patrons also get to be mentioned on the show each week as a thank you and listed at tfradio.net/credits. And I'm going to do that now. Thank you to Kevin Dorsey, Jacob and Lucia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Stresovich, Hector Bones, Jay Klein Rye, Joey Russell, Here's Why It's Cool, Rabbits, Rick Murrin, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Trickster, and Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews. Thank you all so much. You rock. Hey, and if you want to support the show and you don't want to sign up for Patreon, I get it. You can always just buy stuff at tfradio.net/Amazon, and Amazon will send us back a few cents on your purchase. It adds up and it does help us out. So, like Don mentioned, he bought, I think that Star Wars figure or whatever it was, tfradio.net/Amazon. You can buy toilet paper, toothpaste, snacks, whatever. Just use the link in Amazon to help us out. We would appreciate it. Chris, not here. You can find him at chrisrtxv.bsky.social on Blue Sky. But you really should just check him out in our Discord at tfradio.net/Discord. That's where he typically is. And if you want to send him something nice, you can go to tfradio.net/ChrisList and send him something from his wish list. John DeLuna, also not here. He's at that John D everywhere. Rob Springer, not here. He is at RoboRobSpringer on Twitter and at zonebase.bsky.social and at zonebase.org. You can find all of our stuff at tfradio.net going back almost 25 years. And you can find me and my stuff at briankilby.com. Don, how do people get a hold of you?
One thing I wanted to add real quick, Brian, I forgot to mention this. Matt, I am sorry. I meant to mention this earlier. Matt sent me a very nice birthday gift. He sent me a corner shelf unit that will work perfect downstairs in my man cave. And I think it's going to be perfect for my loose Captain Planet collection.
Oh, cool.
So, Matt, thank you very much for that birthday gift. I appreciate that.
You are welcome.
Or your Core Class Supreme Cheetors. This shelf that I got you.
I'd rather have...
No, the shelf's not big enough for that.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have the Captain Planet stuff on display.
Okay. How do people get a hold of you, though, Don?
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I'm also on Blue Sky when I remember it exists at HMRC4EVR.bluesky.social. So you can reach me there for anything you might need.
Cool. Matt?
I am on Blue Sky at melvar.bsky.social. That's with 3 L's and 2 R's. I never post anything, but I do occasionally check it.
Cool. Rob?
I'm on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. That's connected more or less to Flail Through's my YouTube channel, where I am still covering Gundam Battle Operation 2, which is heading up towards its 6th anniversary. Every Wednesday night to Thursday morning, they add a new mobile suit, so you can check out youtube.com/flailthroughs on Thursday mornings to see what it is. If you like what I'm doing over there, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/flailthroughs. You can request specific rounds and things like that. And as I mentioned briefly earlier, I do have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/claylist. They're just like the Amazon link. It does kick back towards the show. And, just for the record, my birthday is in about 2 weeks now.
Sweet. Cool. Okay. Well, Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
They can go get a hold of me on Twitter at Diecast2 and Blue Social at Diecast2. You can see like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast, and you can see my reviews at youtube.com/RFC Reviews. Don, I apologize. I didn't know it was your birthday. I will order you up a couple more Core Class Cheetors.
Yeah, you got a week and a half or so yet.
Okay.
I was feeling really good about us having some camaraderie, talking about the Star Wars stuff, and now you just go and ruin it.
I just had to do it for comedic value.
tfradio.net/cheat sheet, CHEETSHEET. That's how you can get Don a.
No, please don't send Don any. It's just a inside joke.
No, please don't. Please don't send Don any. Please.
Please don't throw me in the briar patch.
Do not send on something that he does not want for his birthday, please.
Yeah, send on something else for his birthday, and then send him some of those because they'll go to Elf on the Shelf Warmer at the end of the year.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Diecast, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you guys for hanging out.
Thank you all for hanging out. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Recording stopped.
Hey, people watching live, I'm going to kill the stream because I'm going to go to bed. So, bye, Twitch.
As a friend of mine frequently says, sleep tastes good.
Sleep tastes good.
I've never heard that before.
And YouTube's going to weigh in a second as soon as I can get my dang YouTube link to come up.
Yeah. I'm surprised you got that shelf today, Don, because I just ordered that last night.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It said it was going to be there today, but I didn't believe them.
Yeah, it's like, because I had it sitting, and it was like I didn't order. Oh, it's 'cause for once they actually had the slip in there, so I knew it was from.